Today we are going to discuss your IELTS speaking task. Now, in this task, as you can see, this format, the basic test format, you can see that you have speaking section, which is just mentioned at the bottom. Now, this particular session would last for 11 to 14 minutes, and this can be conducted on the same day or maybe 7 days before or 7 days after your main exam. Suppose if you're having your main exam on 10th of a particular month, so this exam of speaking can be conducted 7 days prior or later according to the holidays, public holidays, and things. And maybe if it is, there are chances that it can be conducted on the same day as well, right? So this is your this is your the fourth element of your complete IELTS test. It is almost like an interview. As you can see, it would last for 11 to 14 minutes. Most of the cases, it will be around 10 to 12 minutes only. However, at times it can be stretched till 14 minutes. Now, let's have a look at the aspects that it has. Now, this file, what you see here, is having the sections that speaking task has. As you can see here, your IELTS speaking task, it has part one. Part one basically is more like an introductory section where you would talk about your general information. You would talk about your family, your job, your studies, career aspects, your interests, location where you come from, and things like that. Apparently, this would last for 4 to 5 minutes. But in reality, the moment you enter the test, the text is recorded. So your hi, hello, your expressions, not video recorded, but yes, it will be an audio recording that is going to take place. So you got to be careful of your gestures, careful of what you respond. So you got to be, very careful about whatever you speak. So the first part is basically lasting for 4 to 5 minutes. Here you may get questions which are, which can be open-ended or closed-ended. So let's look at the type of questions you get. What I've just discussed is the time limit, which would be which is 4 to 5 minutes, and then for your part one questions, you get questions such as these, right? This is if you can zoom, or maybe if you just have to see on a large screen, that you get questions like where are you from, what is the area where you live, like what is there to do near where you live. So you see questions related to studies and work, leisure time, family, friends, hobbies, your career aspects, and your the prospects that you have. So the questions could be close ended and could be open ended. You got to be careful how you're going to respond to them. So here, what I'm going to show you is that what you're going to avoid. So if you see here, you got to avoid yes or no answers. You got to avoid one word answers, and basically you got to show off your English. So let's say if a close-ended question asked to you, which is, do you have friends? Now, do you have friends? We all know all in the world people have friends, So such obvious questions are also asked. You can term it as a close-ended question. However, you did not reply it in one word or one sentence. You may support it with a sentence. You may say, "Yes, I have friends. I have friends from my school days and college days." So a supporting line can be added here and should be added here in order to balance your answer, right? Also, in this section one itself, you may get questions which are descriptive questions, like what types of friends do you have, what type of job do you do, right? So you have to elaborate to 3 to 4 lines, 3 to 4 lines or maybe 2 lines. But yes, you got to be clear, you got to be coherent, you got to be answering whatever has been asked to you. So be careful with that, right? Now, in terms of preparation, you can prepare general topics, and you should be watching news regularly. You should be reading newspapers regularly, and you in terms of practicing, you can practice while recording the answers on your mobile phone, or recording a video session of yourself, so that you'll look presentable, you look and you understand your tongue and your expressions are matching what you're saying. So more or less, it is the expression that will be valued. It is more or less the confidence and convincing strength that you have in order to express yourself. See, no need to take lengthy pauses. You can take natural pauses. and the natural way of speaking is appreciated, is marked really well, right? And here it says, finally remember, it is this part one is not graded separately. Marks are awarded across all three parts. So this is one important thing. And if in case while the test, if the examiner asks you to stop, or you, they may give, they may not directly speak, they may give gestures. So if they give such gestures, it is not a point to worry, it is just a part of process, as they are time constraint. So as there is a time constraint, so they have to work according to the time limit. And as I mentioned earlier, the speaking is recorded, so that is one thing for administrative purposes. And this is a good thing when you ask for a revaluation. Revaluation process might involve checking your recorded answers, right? And yes, listen carefully to the tense in the question. So mostly the answers can be based on your on past tense or present tense. It depends. So more or less, you got to be focused. Logically, what it means is that you have to be careful of what is being asked to you. So again, let me give you an example. If they say, what is your name, so you just say your name. Let's say Manish Sharma is somebody's name, so the person would say Manish is my name, while the person immediately would ask for your full name. Then you may say my full name is Manish Sharma. Then you can add your surname to it, but you got to be like responding properly, and you look at, like, observe the question what is being asked to you. So such preciseness is required here when you're answering your questions for your IELTS speaking task, right? So that was your task one. Sample questions are here. If you are willing to have this file, you can always text me. You can WhatsApp me on the number which I'm quoting under this video section, and try to subscribe whatever, if you find it comfortable. Other videos are also there. Now, this complete part one would last for 4 to 5 minutes. It will all be a continuous section. No breaks will be given, as it is just 11 to 14 minutes section. Moving on to your part two, if you can have a look, we'll get back to the structure of it. So the template says part one, part two. Part two says the candidate is given a task card which with prompts, right? So basically, it is an individual long-term section. It is also called as cue card section, where you will where you'll be given a task printed on the paper. If you're going for even if you go for a computer-based test, the speaking task will be conducted in the same manner the way it is conducted in your pen and paper test.